That was super sneaky.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about It's a Wonderful Life. We're going to do a little bit of a Steven Stack-esque review. We're going to talk about some of the facts about suicide that this movie gets right, some that it gets wrong.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And if you don't acknowledge Die Hard's Christmas element, we will have words.
Just like you put a title page on things, just like you put an abstract, give people a couple of things so that they know what to expect when they click on the video.
We would talk about it in March because that's when the suicide rate goes up.
What?
Yeah, Tony.
With like one eye open.
But word swag, for those of you who don't want to jack around and have to learn a ton of stuff, word swag is pretty easy to pick up.
We live in a world where there's so much information. People have to make very quick judgments about which of your content to consume.
Down and dirty, go word swag.
So it just looks like we're looking at somebody who has an eye problem. Canva had a template for YouTube thumbnails.
Whatever you prefer, just keep using it and go with it. Just keep making stuff.
Holidays are traditionally, in most places, where we have the lowest suicide rates of the year.
Well, it doesn't mean that people don't kill themselves over the holiday. They certainly do. So it's not like the suicide rate drops to zero. It's just lower, so people are less likely to kill themselves over the holidays.
What we really have to do is be paying attention to spring as people's energy level changes, as there's more light, as they start to think about their life in a different way.
Just because people aren't killing themselves as often as Christmas, if people are having a hard time at Christmas, I have a pretty sneaky suspicion that's predictive of them being in worse shape in the spring.
Mr. Gower whacks him upside the head about as hard as he can.
On the
open-handed on the ear that he's already injured on. And of course, George is in tears.
Blood is spurting out of the ear. Blood is spurting out of the ear on the movie. So we have the drunk adult
font
hitting the kid.
Font of blood and gore seeping from the head and cranium. This isn't in the movie. That's not true.
This isn't what you want to click on.
And I think that It's a Wonderful Life does a really good job of kind of describing in a beautiful way about how it can be really hard for people around Christmas.
In a lot of ways, his responsibility for others is a reason for living and a reason for tremendous self-sacrifice for George Bailey.
It's not just the traumatic events. The traumatic events are huge, but there's also some learned helplessness, right? Not some. There's a lot of learned helplessness.
Really, George's life is seriously painful.
He's going to jump off the bridge. And Kevin Briggs isn't there. We only have Clarence.
Clarence the angel is like the slacker, really bad angel, right? I mean, and I want to point this out.
He's got no wings.
Can we just point out that God uses like his worst angels to do suicide prevention?
If there had been a bridge barrier, we wouldn't have even needed Clarence.
Meaning and purpose are absolutely vital. And then when people are in a suicide crisis, they've often lost that sense of meaning and purpose. And I think that one of the things Clarence does really, really well is really helps George, through George's own story, see the meaning and purpose in his life.